here with
Kelly Toyama, creator and designer of Titans Tactics, a tactical board game that plays in 30 minutes or less.
Okay, what just happened here?
What just happened here is that we had a clash of champions between the Created and the Black Brigade. The Black Brigade managed to pull it out with 3 points of momentum in round
Yes, I
4.
barely beat him. Yeah. So tell us about this game. I have to admit, I enjoyed myself. We're at GAMA Trade Show. It did take a while to play. What do you think that was? 20 minutes? 30 minutes?
I mean, for a first game, it was 20 or 30 minutes. The goal of this game was really to make a tactical board game that you can play during your lunch break, so 30 minutes or less. There's an initial learning curve. Usually the first game, where you learn the rules, takes about an hour. But I find that most people can crank out a game in about 30 minutes after they sort of know the different champions and factions and how the rules interact.
Okay, so I was playing with these, you called them Black Brigade, maybe?
They're the Black Brigade. They're high-tech, militarized undead.
I had the Reaper aerial drone. He could do a lot of damage sniping. He flies around in the air. The Nimbus tank was kind of useless, and he got beat up a lot by me, or by my opponent, Kelly. And what else is there? I see a lot of tokens.
So there's a bunch of different factions. There's the red faction, which I played with, which are the Created. They are mutants and monsters. They're the melee faction. They're all about getting in your face and tearing it off. There's also the Dreamers, which are ninjas, dragons, and wizards. They're the control faction. There is the white faction, which is the Crucible of Order. They are paladins and angels and conscripted elementals. They are all about defense. They're sort of the attrition faction, layered buffs and debuffs. And there's the yellow faction, which are the pirates, crew of the pirate ship Returner. They're all about movement. They're all about moving around the board and dodging and beating their opponent that way.
Okay, and so some of these counters represent special abilities.
Yep.
Okay, what's on my poor Nimbus tank here? Can you explain that?
We have Execute, which is a status effect which deals damage every time the champion activates. We have Sunder, which makes all the damage that champion takes unpreventable. And we have Lash, which also deals damage every time that champion activates. So I had basically 2 dots on him, as well as the thing that turned off his armor. And
It was horrible.
Tearing the tank apart.
Yes, I didn't like that. That was very nasty. What was the effect of the terrain?
So there's no line of sight in the game, so it's not really about blocking line of sight. What the terrain does is you can't ever move through a champion, move into a space with another champion, or where a wall is. So it's each player gets to place a wall at the start of the game, so the terrain changes up every time you play, and it's about blocking movement and creating tactical opportunities. Some of the other factions that are more about movement, like the pirates, can use it to jump back and forth over the walls and make it really annoying as they have to be chased around to get damage dealt on them.
Okay, now Titans Tactics was not kickstarted. You developed the game yourself.
Yep.
Okay, do you mind dropping down here with me?
Yeah, no problem.
Just so we have something a little bit more visual to look at. Yes. How are you enjoying GAMA Trade Show?
Oh, I'm loving GAMA Trade Show. We came here last year without a booth and just sort of a prototype to sort of stir up some interest in distributors and whatnot, and now it's all about reaching out to retailers.
Hey, and so it worked, right? Who are you distributed through? Alliance and
we are
a couple other?
distributed through Alliance, Southern Game and Hobby, Peach State, PhD, and GTS.
Okay, great. Yeah, so counters and counters, $25 retail price, right?
$24.95 MSRP, yeah.
Okay, $24.95, great. Okay, any expansions or anything in the works or anything?
We have an expansion that's in the play testing phase. We're hoping to have something by Christmas next year, if not Gen Con. We're really trying for Gen Con, but speed being an issue there. We also have more of a party game. Titans Tactics is very much a head-to-head, one-on-one sort of board game, and so we're building sort of a palette cleansing game called Swords right now, but that's very much still in the prototype stage.
Yeah, my palette is still a little bit burning from this game. Can you explain how I won? What happened here? So this is the victory point tracker, so our health points, right?
So since we are both Titans, since we are both gods,
yes, I like that.
Our champions can take damage, but they can't be killed.
Go on.
So as damage is dealt,
yes.
You move along this board, which is sort of a back and forth tug of war. So as My opponent deals damage to me, he moves it towards his red end square over here. As I deal damage to him, I move it along my board towards my red end square. If either of us get it all the way to the red end square, we immediately win the game. That didn't happen in our match. We sort of oscillated back and forth. At the end of every round, whoever's more in the lead is going to earn a point of momentum, which is tracked on this track here. Earn 3 points of momentum, you also win the game. So on the 4th round, my opponent won his 3rd point of momentum and won the game.
Yeah. Okay, your opponent being me.
Yes.
Yes. Can you at least admit defeat?
I do admit defeat. It was close, but he did pull it out in the end with his 3rd point of momentum.
Yes, thank you. Hey, great game, fun. People should check it out. Maybe read what's being said about it on the Geek, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We have a page up on Board Game Geek. Our website is www.titanstactics.com. We also have a Facebook page where we do a lot of announcements and contests and things.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Gene.
Yeah, thank you
Oh,
very much.
I called you Gene. Uh-oh.